Hello and welcome to MouseKast. It's the podcast where the mind meets the magic. Hey, Megan's back. She made it back all in one piece there. She had a really, really tough job, folks. Last week, she was gone. And I mean, Megan, you took one for the team. We really appreciate it. You really, really roughed it out there on the Disney magic.
Yeah, you guys were having so much fun with all the ice and snow. I was totally jealous, but I had to, jump on the cruise ship, go meet some Marvel characters. It was, and was totally spoiled because due to the storm and so many people being unable to get on the cruise ship, our ship was only like 50% full. It was, never having to wait in much of a line for anything was fantastic. My daughter tried to steal Thor's hammer. Thought we were going to have a moment.
Actually,
there.
you did. I think you posted a photo of that out on your social media.
I did,
that was funny.
I'll put it on the MouseKast page too. But she was fascinated from the very beginning with everything that Thor had on. But that hammer, she was like, "No, I'm going to take this." And he just
well, here's the question: was she worthy?
You know what? He didn't really let her try. She is tiny, and it looks like that hammer is just about as big, if not bigger than she is. But if she's worthy, trust me, Ainsley could swing that thing around and knock some people out.
Absolutely. So we are here. We're going to talk about a bunch of things. Hi to Amy Driver, who's joining us, and Danny is here with us tonight as well. Welcome. So before we get to our topic tonight, which is Disney dining and our must-dos and our just don'ts, we do have to kind of talk about the elephant in the room, and so we want to say a huge congrats. Yeah, no, he's there. He's right there. There's the elephant in the room, right there. So that's right there. So congratulations to Josh D'Amaro today. Disney announced officially, in what was no surprise to anybody, to be honest, that Josh D'Amaro was named the new CEO for Disney, taking over for Bob Iger. And I don't know about you guys, but I think this is an absolute home run. I think this is going to be fantastic, not only for the Disney company, but if you're a Disney parks person, we couldn't have asked for better. What do you guys think?
He's wonderful. I think he's done a really great job in his current role over parks in the last few years. 100% home run. I'm excited that he's starting next month. That it looks like this is, everything is going to get handed off next month. That was kind of sooner than I expected. So I'm excited about that. I know Iger's probably at this point,
yeah,
I could retire and then he's got to come back. And at this point, he's probably like, guys, we just, I want to be done. But so excited about this. This is really good news.
Yeah, I think this is going to be great. There's already been some thoughts about some of the things that Josh D'Amaro is going to do, and one of the comments I saw, and I think it was somewhere in either a quote or somewhere in the news release, that he's looking to try and kind of re-enhance classic Disney, which is, I think, very, very gratifying to see. Classic Disney is what made Disney what it is today, and so the idea that kind of returning to what Walt did, I think is a great move for Disney, and I think a Disney differentiator to differentiate Disney from the friends down the street, Universal, who also are doing great job, guys. I mean, we have to admit, it's fantastic, and the healthy competition between Universal and Disney does nothing but benefit us, the guests, and I think it benefits both companies as well. So again, congratulations to Josh D'Amaro. You are the new CEO for Disney very, very soon. So we wanted to say a huge congratulations to Josh. A couple other little bits of news that, by the way, got announced. Coming up, I believe it's February 23rd, we're going to see Rafiki's Planet Watch and the train and all of the events over at Rafiki's Planet Watch come down, because Bluey is coming to Animal Kingdom as a meet and greet, and planned for opening sometime this summer. So because of that, there's going to be a fairly short term. It's not going to be too long, but there will be some changes happening in Animal Kingdom, which, when you look at it in total with everything else that's going on in Animal Kingdom, of course, earlier this week, I guess it was yesterday actually, was the last day for Dinosaur. And so farewell to Dinosaur. It is going away. Matt is elated right now about Dinosaur going away. For those on the podcast who are listening, he's shaking his head somewhat vociferously right now. He's not pleased with it at all. But changes are coming. But Animal Kingdom's going to be a little sparse for the next couple of months, and as we go into the busy spring break season, something to think about. If you're heading down for spring break time, Animal Kingdom might be a little on the sparse side, but all good things coming eventually to Animal Kingdom. And I think, Megan, you had another bit of news that was announced recently about Hollywood Studios.
They are bringing back Disney Junior. Their temporary. Matt, you knew a little bit more temporarily.
Yeah, Matt, you had some details
Rapunzel.
on it.
I hadn't seen
Yeah, it was just a brief. I just saw a headline that said, Disney Junior. I think there's like 6 characters coming to Hollywood Studios. I think I saw Minnie. I saw Rapunzel. I didn't get to read too much into it because my phone was about to die. But I just feel like, we get some more Disney Junior, like that doesn't get fully taken away from Hollywood Studios, and hopefully with the upgrades happening over there, they still include some kind of Disney Junior into that park, because my kids loved it over there. So hopefully that'll be more of a mainstay.
Yeah, I think this is what we're seeing is good progress, and things going to be changing at the Disney parks, and hopefully for good. But our topic tonight, of course, we're getting hungry here over here at MouseKast, so we figured it's time to talk about Disney dining again. We get this question a lot, especially Megan and I, who are both travel professionals. In fact, just was it last week, I spent an hour with a client and we walked through Disney dining, and here are some things to think about. Here are maybe some areas to avoid. So it kind of led me to the idea of going and doing our Disney dining, our look at Disney dining. What are the must-dos and what are the just don'ts? So we all came up with roughly five. Amy's already got one there. She says the Grand Floridian Tea Room, which, by the way, is coming back. The Grand Floridian Tea Room is returning this year after a hiatus.
I'm assuming that's on your must-do list.
I would assume that's on her must-do list, yes.
List.
Yes. So Tom, by the way, talking about Josh tomorrow, says he's tempering his enthusiasm for Josh tomorrow. Isn't this the same position that Bob Chapek held? Well, technically, yes. But I think you're going to see tremendous differences between Chapek and tomorrow. And yes, Amy says she's waiting for February 19th when the new Grand Floridian Tea Room opens up. So that should be a lot of fun. So we're going to start. All right, which guys, you want to start with do's or do you want to start with the don'ts? Matt, which way do you want to go with?
I mean, we can start with the do's. We'll start on a high.
All right,
a high
start on the
note,
positive note. So I'll let you take it away. So we each prepared, as I said, roughly 5-ish must-dos and 5 just don'ts. So, all right, your first must-do restaurant. Oh, and by the way, the caveat I gave all these folks was you have to have at least one table and at least one counter service. Total of 5, but you have to have at least one of each. So go ahead.
All right, so I'll start with my counter service. And for me, it's Flame Tree Barbecue over at Animal Kingdom. I will go out of my way to go there almost every trip. As soon as you walk in, you can smell it. The food's fantastic. Pulled pork, mac and cheese all day. I can eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's one of my favorite things there. I love that quick that counter service. It's definitely a must-do for me every trip.
So, ladies and gentlemen, look who's joined us. Hawk is here tonight.
Hey.
Hawk, hey.
What's going on?
Hey, Hawk is with us. Glad to have you here. So he's getting to join us in our Disney dining bits here. By the way, Tom says for him, a must-do is sci-fi dine-in. All right, so he admits it. The food isn't great. You know what? It's actually gotten a little bit better lately. The burgers aren't too bad. Not best burgers on property. Let's not make anything up here. But he says, I can't make a trip to Orlando without going there. So Tom Ruck welcomes, he says sci-fi dine-in. So, all right, so we have one for Flame Tree Barbecue as a must-do. All right, Megan?
I'll stay in that same park, but I'm going over to Satuli Canteen. I love Satuli, and I have not been there since they opened for breakfast as well, and I'm dying to get there to try their breakfast. But I love their bowls. My kids love their food. It's my favorite. It's probably my favorite quick service on Olive property. I love Satuli. I do not go to Animal Kingdom without stopping at least once, if not more.
To Satuli Canteen. Interesting. All right, Hawk, have you got a must-do for dining? I know I have a feeling I know what one you're probably going to bring up soon at some point, but...
Hey, are we just must do on anything? I'm sorry, I didn't miss the.
Well, that's okay. So we're doing must do dining, and so these are dining that you know what when you're doing a trip to Walt Disney World, this is must do. You know, got to do it.
So it doesn't matter what part. We're not just in Animal Kingdom.
No,
No. We're anywhere and everywhere.
And sit down or
sit down, counter service, you know, whatever. So you know, if you were picking, I have a feeling I know what it's going to be, but we'll find out if I'm right. But your must do. And we only prepared 5 here, so your must-do dining. Amy, by the way, says the counter service clam chowder at Columbia Harbor House, and she also likes Satuli Canteen. There you go, Megan, and she likes Woody's Lunchbox as well, and recommends that.
Woody's Lunchbox.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so
mine would actually be Beaches and Cream.
Really, I was expecting Topolino's to come out all day long.
Topolino's isn't as cost friendly as I'd need it to be to do that on a regular, like a must do. Topolino's is when my tax return comes in. Must do like Beaches and Cream. I really love the fact that it's between 2 parks. Jen and I like to park hop. So, you know, on the walk from Epcot to Hollywood Studios, we'll often walk the whole way. And it's nice to kind of stroll by beaches and pop in. And, you know, if it's a cool day, you can get the grilled cheese and tomato soup. If otherwise, you can have a nice French dip or a chicken sandwich. They've got a good variety of stuff. And as far as Disney goes, they're still Amy, you get a better tax return than
as I'll say. So Amy says Amy says tax return would be Victoria and Albert's. I don't know what kind of tax return you're getting.
Yeah,
Andy, wow.
you must get that Josh Diamaro tax return.
There you go.
Like I'm not getting that one. But Beaches and Cream. I really love it. And the service. The service is just fantastic there. A lot of the servers there have been there for a very long time. So we love to go in and get to see Matt or Brian or some of the people that have been around for quite a while there, and it's just a great time.
Danny says Yak and Yeti is a must-do for our family. Yak and Yeti, very, very popular. You know, historically, especially lately, one of the hardest ADRs to get in all of Walt Disney World. You know, day in and day out, Yak and Yeti, very, very popular. For me, I would say, Amy chimes in as well and says, yes, Yak and Yeti is always a must for us, sometimes two times in a trip. And so, for me, there's a couple of must-dos, but I would probably put the top must-do in we're doing it again when we're down in March. It's Rose and Crown. We love Rose and Crown. We love the fish and chips and the whole atmosphere and talking to folks. Love it. We love Rose and Crown. I used to say do it for lunch, but lately hadn't been open for lunch.
So I have to say I've never been there, Chuck, but I will say that the view for the fireworks there is amazing.
It is excellent.
You can get back and get a table in the back prior to the fireworks.
It is a great place. So, alrighty. So let's see here, Matt. You're next on your must-dos.
So I'm gonna go over to Boma. I haven't been there in a little while.
I love me some Boma.
But I'm a foodie, and I love trying something different, especially when it comes to like Disney food. Like variety can be kind of scarce outside of burgers and chicken fingers and French fries and just kind of typical park food. So I've done breakfast, I've done dinner at Boma, and I love both meals. I don't know if anything has changed since COVID, because I know some restaurants have changed since then. But both my experiences there, I mean, Krispy Kreme at a buffet at Disney, sign me up all day, because they're scarce up here, up in New England. So, and just like I said, the variety compared to other buffets it's amazing. So I love going to Boma.
Yeah, Danny, by the way, says Topolino's breakfast is his newest must-do. Danny also says Boma is the best buffet. Amy chimes in with her must-dos, Citrico's, Cali Grill, and Gico.
The only thing I wish Boma did again that I don't know if they're back to doing, I haven't been in a little bit, but it turned us off a little bit last time we were there, is they used to have an omelet station and they started pre-making omelets and just putting them up in the window. And it just wasn't the same because
it's just not the same
you're not ordering your specific way you want it made. And that was one of the highlights we loved about Boma. But Boma was always our go-to. And much like Danny, prior to Topolino's, Boma was our go-to breakfast spot. And now we will save the extra money and go less, but go to Topolino's.
I will say this for Boma, not necessarily for breakfast, but for your dinner time, that Boma mustard, if you've been to Boma at dinner and you've had that Boma mustard, you can put that on anything, and it is unreal. Unreal. All right, Hawk, what's another must-do for you? Must-do dining.
So I'm going to go to a weird one that Jen and I find we like our nights at Hollywood Studios. We often go for date night. And you actually joined us.
Yes, I did. I know where you're going here.
Fairfax Fair.
Oh, so good.
Back in the back corner down by the tower and Rock and Roller Coaster. And they have these waffle bowls that are it's a waffle bowl filled with mashed potato, and you can get either pork belly or buffalo fingers.
I highly recommend a pork belly.
And I love the buffalo myself. They also, I believe, have a brisket is the other option. But we get the buffalo chicken on top of that. And it's a great, quick, affordable dinner. Absolutely delicious. And we really enjoy it.
If I'm remembering correctly, I think Fairfax Fair is one of the quick services that does not have a dedicated kids menu, if I'm remembering correctly. And so if you're on the dining plan, you can use your kids quick service and get one of those bowls because they don't have a dedicated kids menu.
Yeah, so I think you're correct.
I think you are correct because I think that's all they offer is those three items, dessert, and a couple of drinks. And they're right next to the ice cream stand out on the front. They're not the quick service set back.
Yeah, they're very close, closest down to Tower of Terror. So no, that's actually, to me, that's a hidden gem. I think
very
it's
surprised.
definitely
That was a pleasant
gem.
surprise when we discovered it, and now Jen and I frequent that whenever we go over and we're at studios and realize we didn't eat dinner before we left the house. We stop there.
All right, Megan, what's a must do?
I feel like I'm stalking Matt because I'm just following everywhere he's going here. I'm going to Animal Kingdom Lodge, only I'm going up to Kidani because I'm going to Sanaa. It is my
it's bread
favorite
time.
sit down across property, the bread service. Oh my gosh, the butter chicken. Oh, I just love Sanaa. And when they're not doing, last time I was there, they had the windows partially covered because they were working out on the savannas, so we didn't get to see the animals as closely. But the views out there, it's worth telling the cast members that you'll wait a little bit longer to get one of those tables out by the windows.
So you do lunch there, you don't do dinner?
Not usually do dinner. I usually go over for lunch just to get out of the
It's the
park.
best
I'm always
Excellent
looking
trip.
for a sit down at lunch, and Sanaa's my pick.
Best way to do it. It is nice right at dusk or sunset as well. But it is not a restaurant I'd recommend just for me, because a good portion of the experience is being able to see out and watch the animals. So being there while it's light out is just really truly a game changer for that place. And the bread service is off the chain. So
that bread you go to Sanaa, not the rest of the menu is great, but just go for the bread. Seriously, that you'll get hooked for the bread. Let's see here. My other one, I got it again. We've got several on here, but I'll probably pull out my other that I think could go not only for me as a must do, but I think it's also a hidden gem to some degree. By the way, Amy says she's staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge this next time. So Amy, you got to try all these great options out here. For me, Steakhouse 71.
You really do have Josh D'Amaro's tax return.
Yeah.
Say right now. You're doing all right.
Yeah. Steakhouse 71 over at the Contemporary. I think that it's a fantastic steakhouse. It's got great steak. Do not pass up the red wine demi glaze mushrooms. Just don't. Get them every time. We actually will even just get them as an additional side item. They're that good. So, they are awesome. Hey, Hawk, you're going to love this because I already kind of knew this. Amy's actually staying club level, and so she's heard mixed reviews about why club snacks over at Animal Kingdom Lodge. And so, Amy, you'll have to let us know about club level over there and how they do.
Amy, you and Chuck will be dining together at a bunch of places. Oh, look, Danny gets in there.
Danny jumps in. He says he loves Steakhouse 71. Hidden Gem. Again,
Matt
I think
and
it's
will
awesome.
Be down at the quick service catching up with you guys.
Well, actually, it's funny
Bring
you said
us
that.
leftovers.
Yeah, Amy actually is in town with us, and so she is nearby. I do some stuff with Amy from time to time. So another great travel advisor. So again, when you're booking, use a travel advisor. Okay, I'll tell you what. We've done a couple of must dos. Let's jump over into the just don'ts, and I prepared several of them, but I'm going to make a prediction. I know that for Megan and I, we already know what's the top of that list. I'm just going to, on 1, 2, 3, I think we're all about to say probably the same thing. And if it's what I think it is, it's going to be a word and a number. And it's just don't. And that is Space 220. Just don't.
Yep, that's the top of my list.
Yep, well, it's top of my list. Space 220,
Well,
just
you know
don't.
what's weird? Space 220 is only...
I'm talking about restaurant.
Yeah, no, we went. The food was delicious. I enjoyed the food immensely. I had the duck. Jen had steak, I think. It was amazing. We had the issue with Tegan having to pay $70 for a cup of mac and cheese, which we thought was ridiculous. But, we paid it. That aspect was a little frustrating. But I loved the food. The additional aspect, and for the amount of money you pay, the dollar for dollar value isn't there. And it's like once you've seen it, there's really it's a cool experience to go once. The kids think it's cool, like if you go up and check it out, but it's a one and done once you do it. Anyone that says they're going back there regularly, you better be going to the lounge for some crazy bartender and a ridiculous drink that you just head over heels for or something, because there's not a reason to go back there for me.
Well, and see, that's where I'm going to make a difference, because I do think the lounge is worth it to go up and do that experience, because you can get in at a far, far lower price point, and the appetizers over in the lounge are not bad. Drinks are a little high, but drinking any lounge, frankly, at Disney is going to be high. Amy, by the way, says she's debating about booking Space 220, but there's so many places to eat during Flower and Garden Festival, the lounge. But here's a tip with the lounge. If you have a larger party, it is very challenging to get an ADR. If you can break your party up into twos, you stand a much better chance of getting an ADR for Space 220 Lounge. Space 220 Restaurant, you can get an ADR anytime you want because they're wide open. And we've had some others that have talked recently about food at Space 220, and it's been a little bit rough.
So Matt,
Matt, what's your just don't?
For me, it's Coral Reef. I did it once, and I'm all set. We sat in the back, could barely see the tank, which is like part of the atmosphere. Like I feel like you're going for at that restaurant. Yeah. Food wasn't that great. I felt it was just kind of bland. I've had better meals at the resorts versus eating there. We might have made the mistake. We did it for Thanksgiving one year, so maybe that was our fault. But we were just kind of like, hey, we've always done the resort for Thanksgiving. Let's try an actual restaurant that actually had that was serving some kind of Thanksgiving meal, and it was just no.
And other Matt has joined us tonight, and he says yes, I think meaning no, to Coral Reef. He said food was terrible, and
no.
I mean, it was.
If they set it up,
and it was meh.
I was thinking about it earlier, and I'm just like, if they kind of set it up kind of like Rainforest Cafe. I know when my wife and I went, they had like some smaller fish tanks around. You could sit around like tables around that. Plus, they had like the main like animatronics on the outside, something like that to kind of like like I said, we sat in the back, we couldn't see anything. So for those people that get stuck back there, at least kind of like bring some of that coral reef experience to everybody. I think it just needs a revamp, and like I said, the food just was not good, and I probably would not go back.
So Megan, was yours Space 220?
Space 220 is on my list. However, I actually, looking back at my list, my number one, I can't believe I'm going to say this. My number one do not do is Cinderella's Royal Table.
Really? Just don't, huh?
Waste of money.
Yeah, I agree.
For that price, no thank you. And the food is just okay. I mean, yeah, you're eating in the castle, but it doesn't really feel, you're in a dining room. The feeling of being
you're right. The design in there is so tricky. It's tight. Getting to the bathrooms is a pain. There's so many logistical issues with that restaurant that just make it really tricky. My number one don't for me is going to shock a lot of people. I mean, not if you know me, it won't, but Liberty Tree Tavern. I will never go there. Worst meal I've ever had on Disney property. Worst experience I've ever had. It was just awful. Like, no thanks. Nope.
I did it one time, and the only time I did Liberty Tree was actually during marathon weekend. I had just done the half marathon in I guess this was 2012, and it was the next morning. It was, of course, freezing. It was another time where there was ice in the Magic Kingdom. And they did a breakfast, and it was not bad for a breakfast, but it was a very rare thing that they did breakfast, and never been back since. And it was, I'm with you. It was, let's see here. Matt also says, love the environment. It's a shame, meaning talking about Coral Reef. Shame the menu is terrible. Went once as a kid, and it was amazing. Went back as an adult, and it was not. And I'm the same way. I mean, we went once, and it was okay. It's sad because it has the potential to be something truly spectacular, and it just isn't. My just don't. Some people might agree with it or not agree with it. My just don't is 50's Primetime Cafe.
I would agree with that.
Which one?
50's Primetime Cafe. As a just don't, because one, it's just home cooked food, but to be honest, I can get that. I can get, meatloaf and fried chicken anywhere, but the shtick also can be off-putting for some folks.
Well, do you think, I don't mind the shtick because I like the sarcasm and I like to poke fun at people. So the shtick fits me there, but the portions don't. Every time I've been there, the portions are tiny, and it's not traditional for a lot of Disney restaurants, to be honest. They usually do portion up pretty good. And I ordered the chicken, and I was like, was it the one that just hatched? Like, what happened here?
Yeah.
I wanted one that wasn't an egg 10 minutes before you cooked it. Could you get me taken care of here? And
so Matt, by the way, Hawk doesn't agree with you. Matt says, "Oh no, Liberty Tree Tavern is like one of the only places the MK I don't entirely mind. My don't eat at a sit down in the Magic Kingdom." Well, there's that too. Danny also says 3 times at Liberty Tree Tavern and very good every time.
Hey, Danny, you know what? This is what I'd tell both you and Matt and anyone else that goes to Liberty Tree regularly. You don't ever have to worry about me blocking your reservation or sitting at a table while you wait for me to leave, because I will never be there. You can sell me on whatever you think was the best food experience you had. I will never return to that place. It was the worst experience I've ever had at Disney.
Amy, by the way, says, just don't at Yacht Club. I think she means Yachtsman Steakhouse. So many other great steakhouse options. I don't know, Amy. Last time I went to Yachtsman, that was a pretty daggone good steak. But I will admit that roasted garlic spread, that was really, really good as well. By the way, Tom said, I love the decor in the Primetime Cafe. Would love to have the 50s home. For me, I think that, yes, I've heard that the portions are small, but also it's just, I can get that anywhere. Now, granted, I'm in the South, so it's Southern food. I can get Southern food anytime I want. So
when it comes to that shtick, I've been to 50's Primetime once, and we got a cast member who didn't do the shtick.
That you deal with more often, yeah.
Disappointment, because that's what I went for. Like, that's what I was looking forward to. And yes, the food, I agree with Chuck on the food. I can do that at home, and I can do that to my specifications. My meatloaf is not the meatloaf they serve there, so the specifications on that kind of thing. But I was so disappointed that we got a cast member who was not all in. I was
So, question on that: did you have the kids with you at that time?
no.
No. Okay, because I was gonna say we went to
Adults
Whispering
only.
Canyon our last trip, and we didn't. I mean, we got the whole ketchup routine, but that was it. And I heard other tables like the servers kind of like having like that snarky kind of, in on the shtick kind of thing, but we didn't get it because we had the kids. So I wonder if that would have played into like a different environment.
They're usually pretty good. I mean, Jen and I go by there a lot because we often park at Wilderness Lodge when we go over, and we'll make a reservation to eat somewhere over there. And Whispering Canyon, usually they're pretty good with the shtick and getting involved with the staff and the kids and getting everybody kind of up and going. It's pretty funny. I mean, when you're doing any kind of performance theater or shtick in any restaurant, anywhere, even Disney, you're not always going to be on. If you get sat 4 tables at a time, you don't have time to shtick. You're running. So like there's realistic expectations that you do have to have. There's a certain level where you have to have some level of understanding of what, like situational awareness, I guess, that sometimes it's not going to fit what you expected. But it is kind of a downer, to Megan's point, if you get nothing and it's just flat. Yeah. We've had that experience in places too. We've even had it in some of the character meals where the characters themselves are pretty flat. And, that can be a little disappointing, especially for the kids. That's one of the things we love about Topolino's, though, is that the character interactions there are one of the best I've seen, even in character dining. They really do a great job getting involved.
I must have had an off day because the one time I went, the characters were kind of flat. There was just very limited interaction. It was just kind of like, hey, pose with the pictures and move along. I know they were busy and stuff like that, but it was just kind of like, okay, like...
You told them you were from Rhode Island. It's like the smallest state in the country. I mean, like Walt Disney World itself is bigger than Rhode Island. So, I mean,
that's true. That's true.
Tom, by the way, says, other than sci-fi, dine in. I want a quick meal. I don't get to the parks often and usually a solo traveler. So I feel like taking the time for a sit-down meal. So I sit down means feeling like a waste of time. So he's usually doing the quick service.
Okay, so then a couple more of my don'ts. That
I was going to say some don'ts,
service. One is Sunshine Seasons over at Epcot.
When it's open.
When it's open. It used to be great. Like 20 years ago, it was fantastic. And it just...
Well, I mean, Megan, not for nothing, but how many restaurants from 15, 20 years ago do you know that are still good to go to? Well, that's part of the problem.
To Chuck's point, it's not either the whole thing's not open or big pieces of it aren't open anymore. There's not as much variety as there used to be down there. And then my other one over at Disney Springs is Gideon's Bakehouse. I'm not standing in that line. Those cookies are not, the cake's pretty good, but they're massive and no, you're not going to catch me in that line. Y'all can have the spots. I don't pass.
Yeah, I was going to throw out. So my quick service frankly, is Cosmic Rays. It's a madhouse. It's a mess, and it's all just very similar to 50s primetime. It's burgers, dogs, nuggets. I mean, it's your standard stuff. There are better options even in the Magic Kingdom. And then my other that I just throw out a don't, and it's similar to what Amy said about Yacht Club, is Le Cellier. There are better steak options around. Now, similar to what Megan was saying 15 years ago, Le Cellier was top dog, absolute top dog, and I don't know what's happened.
Their current menu has more salt in it than the Med. Like
By the way, Matt says Norway's chocolate chip cookie is better than Gideon. So there you go. Go to Norway.
I don't know, what the deal is with some of the restaurants. And I'll even say Artist Point has an issue with salt in the food too. It's just overly salty and very...
Amy, by the way, agrees anything is better than Gideon's.
I don't know what it is, but if I had to throw a couple don'ts on there, I mean, honestly, pretty much any sit down in Hollywood Studios is a don't for us. I got to be honest, pretty much every sit down in Magic Kingdom is a don't for us, with the exception, we have really enjoyed Skipper Canteen. And again, kind of a fun environment. They get a little engaging, which is fun. And I know I'm like basically all alone on this one, but we've always enjoyed Be Our Guest. However, I will say that it is a generic experience after you do it once. There's not a lot of change to it. The menu doesn't change much, but I've always had a good meal there. I've always left feeling full. The French onion soup's amazing. The steak's always good. So like, I've always enjoyed that meal. It's just, the Brazilian cheese bread at Skipper is amazing. You're right.
Amy says the Brazilian cheese bread at Skipper is amazing. I haven't done it yet, but I've heard about it. It's on my list to do one time, but I just haven't had a chance to do it. So Matt, what are a couple other of your just don'ts?
Tom's not going to like me, but sci-fi was a one and done for me. The food was okay. The environment was pretty cool, but I'm a bigger guy, and it just was not comfortable for me. It just won't go back. I mean, I think we talked about it. I want to say last week where we thought about doing like a sci-fi like kind of theme to replace Tony's, but doing like Mickey shorts, and I think that would be a better. I kind of like a retheme in that. You might get me back in just more seating options besides the cars. I don't know if I missed that when I walked in. I was kind of like the experience of like, hey, we're going to sit in this car and watch, old films and stuff like that, like bits and pieces of it. But it was just, it was okay. I'm not in a rush to go back personally. And another place that didn't really care for was the Yak and Yeti quick service.
100%.
Yeah, it was
100% agree. The dynamic between sit down inside and the quick service outside is night and day. The food is so much better inside. Outside, I was so disappointed.
Yeah, it was kind of bland when we just got like some chicken fried rice, and I want to say maybe some spring rolls, and it was just kind of like, this is okay. Like I've had better at home, honestly. So it was a miss for us. I wouldn't rush back to do it unless I was really craving something like that. But those are a couple of just don'ts on my list.
Yeah, so we've had several comments that have been popping in through the chat. Some raving about Skipper Canteen. Let's see here. Matt also said Brown Derby is good for the Cobb salad. It is good. I've had it there. Interesting tip for him. He says go to the lounge. You can get it there, and you don't have to worry about the other.
The cake there is pretty good too. The brown cake.
I have made that cake.
Huh?
I've made that cake at home. It's very good.
Amy says Nomad Lounge, another good hidden spot. And on that, so we'll do one more each, everybody a must do. And then I'll ask you just for, as we wrap things up, what's one hidden gem that maybe that hasn't been talked about yet, but a hidden gem that a lot of people might overlook or not think about that's a hidden gem. So Hawk, we'll start with you. What's one last must do dining?
So, I mean, on a rainy or cool night, or just when that chill is in the air.
We're talking Florida, by the way. So it's like 15 minutes. Disney froze for like 20 minutes. Yeah. No, actually, I'm kidding. It got really cold.
We did legit have hard freezes for 12 straight hours for 3 days in a row. That was, like 12 hours each day that we were below freezing. We lost vegetation in the house. Like our palm trees.
No, it got real cold. It did get cold.
So, little crazy to deal with that down here. But on those cool, damp nights, going over to Port Orleans and getting those beignets, I like a must-do quick service, even though it's just a little snack. Those fresh beignets, hot, nice, fresh made. Whoa, so good.
Now, are they better than the ones that are at the Golden Oak at Tiana's in the Magic Kingdom?
Oh,
I figured, but
night and day. It's like the difference between Yak and Yeti sit down and Yak and Yeti quick.
Really,
service.
That
Yeah.
And Danny says, "How about Geyser Point?"
Oh, Danny, shut up. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get there in a minute. All right, so Matt, what's one more?
Danny. I took Danny there.
There we go. So Matt, what's one more just must do dining?
For us, it's Ohana's. I know a lot of people say, the menu's changed since COVID, but we went and I thought it was still fantastic. I love the environment. We've gone as a large group before, and just that Ohana, that family feel, you kind of get it there. Actually,
Now, clarifying, are you talking Ohana breakfast or Ohana dinner?
Dinner.
Okay.
Dinner, yeah, because I figure the breakfast, besides the characters, it's kind of any generic breakfast on Disney. I mean,
No, it is not.
It's not.
It is,
Okay.
I would recommend. I love Ohana's for breakfast too, and oh yeah, it's good. It's good, but get the pog juice, folks. Trust me on the pog juice.
You can get that at any of the breakfasts.
Yes, but you do Ohana's. Come on.
I mean, just Chuck, being fair, you can get pog juice at any of the breakfast restaurants.
Yes,
Come
you
on.
can. At Kona Cafe, you can get it too. Which, by the way, Kona Cafe is.
You can get it at Topolino's.
Can you get pog at Topolino's? Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I thought it was exclusive to
Do
the
that,
Polynesian.
because the entire Polynesian resort is on my just don't list. I do not do the insanity over there. I do not. That entire resort is overrated.
I will say, Megan, we went out and had dinner and appetizers with friends at the new DVC Tower, and that is the most heinous looking building from afar. But inside, when we sat at the bar and had dinner that night, spun around, watched the best version of the fireworks show I've seen from a resort, best view, amazing, watching Happily Ever After.
I've heard Wailu is awesome.
And the food in it was very impressive. Jen and I got some sliders, some chicken wings, pricey, Polynesian deluxe. You're not getting out of there for short money. But we had the dessert. We had some pressed coffee. I mean, we tried the whole menu and really went through stuff. The service was amazing. They pipe in the sound just like everywhere else. It was gorgeous. It was one of the best nights I've had. And I cursed that building up and down from the time it was started. I think it's the ugliest thing they put over there. But from the inside looking out, it was gorgeous. You could see Tink come off the castle.
Oh, wow.
Everything. It was really cool. So it was definitely at the Polynesian Resort. Go over there and experience that. You won't be disappointed. It's not dated. It's not old. It's all new. It'll reset your fire for the Poly, Megan.
Yeah,
I will say Kona
go that
breakfast
far.
is very, very good. Tonga toast is good, and we go to breakfast a lot at Kona, and it's for breakfasts. It's a pretty good option, and it's not too killer. There, Matt, by the way, says must do for him: Boma Boathouse, Viennapoli. I second Viennapoli, Geyser Point, which Topolino's, Homecoming Brunch, Tusker House, and Wailu. Amy also says Tonga toast at the grab and go downstairs is a nice cheat.
I got Tonga toast downstairs at
Captain Cook's.
There we go. And it was burnt and it was not good. And I was
really
very angry that I had planned and tried that over there. I was really disappointed.
No, we like we do like Kona quite a bit. All right, Megan, what's one more your last must do?
My last must do, and everybody who's a Texan is going to come for me for this. We love Regal Eagle over at Epcot.
Go on barbecue.
Service barbecue. You get really good portion sizes. It's something different than what's the rest of the park. Their bar that's outside is really good. You can get a great moonshine sour out there. Although I'm sure you can order it many other places in the park.
The place right in front of there has that American Dream slushy too, which is amazing. Yes. That is really good. If the kids like a cold drink or you want, it's vanilla ice cream with the blue and raspberry slushy, and it just makes this creamy mix that is absolutely delicious and, a good head start on your diabetes. So, it puts you right where you need to be.
Matt, by the way, says he really enjoyed Citrico's in the Grand Floridian before it closed for refurb. So hopefully he says it's similar, but haven't been back yet. We'll see what happens. So, all righty. Let's see, Matt, did you get your last one? Yeah. All right, so my last for the must-dos, I'm going to go actually down to Disney Springs, and this was my counter service. It is a must-do that we do all the time. It's kind of standard, but I'm telling you what, I got to get me some Earl of Sandwich. I love Earl
You
of Sandwich.
are obsessed with Earl of Sandwich.
I love Earl of Sandwich.
We do not have access except when we get to the state of Florida. Like, oh man, Earl of Sandwich is so good.
Yeah. Mark, by the way, says Geo82 is his new must-do, and he says Wailu a close second. I'm finding out about Geo82 coming up in March when I head down. Danny, by the way, says just don'ts any Italian sit-down food or quick service at Disney. I don't know about Gianopoli there.
No, Danny's right. He's a New Yorker, I'm a Bostonian, and if you're from up in Chicago, there is no Italian food in the South that is going to touch anything from those 3 geographic areas. So if you're an Italian fan, you are not finding the closest Italian food I've found near Disney that's okay is at Reggiano's in Celebration, and they actually have an amazing menu with some really, really good Italian food, but nothing on Disney property.
My
Nothing.
favorite Italian on Disney property is Enzo's Hideaway. And being from St. Louis and having the hill, I'm with you on like I've had great food at Enzo. We really enjoy Enzo's. I enjoy that a lot.
All right.
But it's certainly not like up at the level of the hill in St. Louis or some of the Northeast.
All right, so Hawk, wrap us up here. So you had started it. So this is the hidden gem, and I think we already know where you're going because
Danny kind of took my thunder, and then Matt mentioned it again, but it's because it's so good. For those of you that love a good burger, Geyser Point at Wilderness Lodge. I do not eat burgers. Their bison burger is insane. It is so good. And they have great chicken wings there. They have great other foods. You don't have to get the burger. They've got a great menu, but it's right out on the water. It's set away from the pool and the resort. It's a cooler, quieter environment. It's a great spot to just go out and eat. Danny and I took Danny there. We went out and enjoyed a fantastic lunch. We did some wings. We both got burgers. We enjoyed a fantastic meal. Our server was amazing. I agree with Danny. It is the best burger at Disney, in my opinion. And it's a hidden gem out there at the Wilderness Lodge. 10 minutes on the boat from Magic Kingdom. You can go check it out. You can either make the reservation or, just try to do a walk up. They do have first come, first serve seating at the bar. It was so delicious.
Well, Mark says that the new smash burger over at Wailu beats it by a mile now. He said bison burger used to be his favorite. He says Wailu now beats it. Mark,
except for the fact that I eat my burgers rare, so smash burger ain't happening. Like it just nope. But smash burger, nothing, Mark.
Alrighty. All right, Matt, what's that hidden gem?
All right, so I'm gonna do a quick hitter. For one, I'm gonna do a quick hitter than my actual one. The little pizza stand over at by Via Napoli. Just had it for the first time my last trip, and just if you need something quick, the pizza there is amazing. It's thicker, but it's fluffy,
it's deep dish,
and
thick style. Yeah,
it's really good. And my hidden gem is kind of just in front of everybody's eyes. It's at the resorts. I mean, I don't sleep on the resort food. My personal opinion. Our last trip, I got a turkey dinner there, and it was fantastic. It was.
What resort were you at?
Yeah,
All Star Sports.
Okay.
So and it was fantastic.
Those All Star food courts are pretty good.
Pretty impressive. They have great variety. They really do have a lot of variety.
It would have blown Coral Reef out of the water by miles, coming from a value resort. I mean, I always tell people don't sleep on it. I mean, it just looks like burgers and fries, but they'll have specialty dishes in there.
Matt, Mark wants to know: did they have smash burgers at the All-Star?
I don't think so.
There you go. All right, Megan, what's your hidden gem, as Mark says, his daughter still swears the chicken Alfredo at Pop is her favorite ever, and it is.
That's
good.
legit. That is legit.
I've had it. It's good.
That is legit. I will say the same. It's really good.
All right, Megan.
So I'm going to stay with Matt at the resorts. Only I'm going to Old Key West and I'm going to Olivia's Cafe. We love Olivia's.
Breakfast, so good.
Yes, breakfast is really good. But so are lunch and dinner. It's anytime we go over there, I always enjoy the meals. The cast members over there are absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, because I can't avoid my coffee lovers, y'all, and I've mentioned this as many times as I can when we do podcast episodes, Le Petit Cafe over at Riviera, if you need coffee. Mm-hmm. It's a hidden gem, but it's also on my must-do because I will go out of my way to hop on the Skyliner and get over there and get myself what I think is the best coffee on property.
It is good. I am not a coffee person, but my daughter more than makes up for me, and she says, yes, it's fantastic.
They also use, from what I understand, because I had said once, Cinderella's Royal Table uses an exclusive blend of coffee that nowhere else on Disney has. Mm-hmm. They use another individual brand of coffee that no one else on property uses. Yeah. So, that does add to the exclusivity of that location. It's not like you can just jump to any of the other coffee shops at the resorts to go get it. So, I second the fact that that's a great little spot to get stuff.
Alrighty, so as we wrap things up, so I've got a couple, and I'm kind of torn between the two, so I'm just going to throw one out and then do the one that I think is actually better. I'll throw out the La Crêperie over at Epcot near Remy's. You think crepes and you think, buckwheat crepes, which are called galettes. They're actually quite good. Give it a shot. Actually, this is one where I think the prefix actually is the best deal because you get a galette, a actual crepe, and a glass of cider wine. With the cider wine is really, really good. Hard as all the dickens to find anywhere else. You cannot find it by the bottle. You can only get it by the glass. So give La Crêperie a chance. But Shikisai over in the Japan Pavilion. So this is Japanese street food. Now, I will say this. You're paying more at Shikisai for Japanese street food than you would pay for Japanese street food in Japan. A lot more. But you can get, takoyaki, karage, so many other great things. And it's all just little small plates and appetizers. So there's not really a sit-down menu where you order an entree or anything like that. And great for groups. So you come over there with a group of 4, whatever like that, and everybody order a plate of karage or, like I said, some takoyaki. Takoyaki is fried octopus. Really, really good. And you just enjoy and sit down and talk. And you order as much or as little as you want. And so Shikisai,
a lot of fun. I will need that to save my life.
You'd be surprised. I will promise you would be surprised. If I gave you takoyaki and I didn't tell you what it was, you would go, dang, that's pretty good. It really is. Mark says, and the violet sake is delicious. The sake there is really, really good. But what about you guys? So you guys have all been sharing out all of your must-dos, your just don'ts, and as I said, we slipped in a few hidden gems here. And there are so many more. You may agree with us. You may disagree with us. Be sure to comment out. If you're listening to this on the podcast, be sure to jump on over to our Facebook page at MouseKast 2025 and share out your thoughts on what you think are the must-dos, what you think are the just don'ts for Walt Disney World. And we want to thank all of the folks who are with us tonight. We had a fantastic show with Mark and Danny and Amy and Tom, and Matt was with us as well as Caleb was also here with us tonight. So we want to say a huge thank you to everybody who joined us and commented in the chat. Remember, we do this live every Tuesday night here at MouseKast at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Coming up next week, it is open mic night. That's right. You get to set the topic, and we'll talk about what you want to talk about. So definitely be sure to join us for open mic night coming up next week here on MouseKast. So I want to say a huge thank you to Matt and Megan. Again, welcome back. Hawk, glad to have you with us here on MouseKast. Glad to have the gang all together. This is MouseKast, the podcast where the mind meets the magic. And so until next time, we're going to see you. Take care, guys. Everybody have a great week.
Thank you for listening to MouseKast. We appreciate the time. you share with us. And tonight was a very fun show, and joining us is a must. This is where the mind meets the magic. We dive a little deeper every time. Theme parks, cruise ships, and travel. If you don't listen, maybe now it's time.